Now at 8, a memorial has been set up for the person killed in a string of crashes caused by the same driver on MLK Boulevard yesterday. We'll have a live report from the scene in Northeast Portland coming up in our top story.
Portland City Council unanimously agrees to pay the family of Manny Clark, a man Portland police shot and killed after mistaking him for a robber. We're going to have details on what led up to this $3.75 million settlement. Plus,
and if you're into iconic pop music, you might want to head over to the Keller to see And Juliet, how it's modernizing one of the greatest love stories ever told. Your 8 o'clock hour of sunrise starts right now. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on your Friday. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. That's right. We have one more hour to go before we say the weekend is upon us here on the Sunrise Show, but it is going to be a busy hour. We start with Rod and Chris talking a little weather and traffic.
Beautiful weather out there. We are clear all areas, and now we basically expect a clear forecast through your weekend, including if you're going to the beach. You should expect it to be clear morning and afternoon. Here's a look this morning. Quite a few walkers starting to show up on the beach, it looks like, from our Schnickwoods Casino Resort Camera Lincoln City. 51 degrees, relatively cool start. Downtown Portland running a little bit warmer. We are now up to 58, the warming in the 8 o'clock hour. This is a day that gets back into the 80s. It was 74 yesterday, but still really very comfortable. I mean, at noon, 69. 82 is the number at 5 o'clock. We are still expecting 90s on Sunday and Monday, and we'll have the latest on our impact alert for that hot weather coming up in my complete forecast shortly. Chris?
Rod, thanks for that. So far, the morning drive is in relatively good shape. 217 over near Denny. We're zipping along both directions there. We'll switch gears behind door number 2. Of course, the drivers on the inbound Sunset have got the sun right in their face. So we've got the sunshine slowdowns on the west side, but not bad. 17 minutes is actually your total drive in from Hillsborough. So that's really in pretty good shape. And last but not least, the drive out of Clark County zipping right along. It's just a little bit of slowing over the interstate bridge. I do have several traffic alerts to pass along to you coming up this weekend. We've got 217, we've got Bridge Pedal, and we've got a bridge closure in Northeast Portland, which starts Monday. Drew, China, I'm going to have more on that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Chris. Let's get to some breaking news here out of Northeast Portland. Police say a passenger on a TriMet Lift paratransit bus stabbed someone. This happened around 11:30 last night on the corner of Northeast 116th and Gleason. Police were dispatched to a disturbance call. We're then told the situation was resolved, but about 10 minutes later, they say they were called back. And when they got to the scene, police found a transit supervisor had been stabbed in the neck. The suspect was still on the bus and was arrested. We're told the supervisor is expected to be okay.
Meantime, one person was killed and several others injured when someone drove onto the sidewalk and then hit multiple cars in Northeast Portland yesterday.
This happened near the Safeway on MLK Boulevard. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson is live for us in Northeast. So Corey, you said earlier this morning there's a growing memorial there in honor of the victim.
That's right, Drew. It is a growing memorial this morning, and police have not officially confirmed the identity of the person who was killed in yesterday's crash, but people in the community have left posters, flowers, and candles up on the sidewalk as a memorial. Many of them, those posters specifically reading, "Rest in peace, Darren." They also include pictures of the victim with his children. Now, that crash happened just before noon yesterday. Police say the driver of a Ford Escape SUV was heading north on MLK when he drove up on the sidewalk. That's where he hit 2 pedestrians and narrowly missed hitting a child as well. 4 other people were also injured in that crash and were taken to the hospital. Then the driver veered back onto the road, sideswiping another SUV before crossing the median and striking 2 more cars. According to Portland police, it doesn't appear that the crashes were intentional. Police say the driver of the Ford Escape has 2 prosthetic legs, and it's unclear if that did play a factor. We talked to one man who witnessed those crashes and called 911.
I could hear the accelerator. You could tell he wasn't backing off the accelerator at all. The man that was over here in front of the bank got picked up and lifted off the ground.
Now, even as we are standing here, we just saw a pair of people leave a candle and add to that growing memorial this morning. It's still unclear what, if any, charges the driver in that incident will face. Live in Northeast Portland, Corey Johnson, KGW News.
Yeah, we'll be following up on that story throughout the day for sure. Thank you, Corey. We also have more information this morning to share about the man that Longview police say stabbed 2 people this week, killing one of them. He hasn't been charged, he hasn't been caught, and he's still considered armed and dangerous. Police say 51-year-old Alexander Rogers recently got out of prison for attacking people with a machete. So Rogers is now accused of killing 64-year-old Dawn Peters and critically injuring Andrew Peters at this home in Longview on Tuesday night. Authorities say Rogers could still be in the area. They say he's likely driving a black spray-painted BMW with Washington plates starting with BNU.
He was arrested and ultimately served 20 plus years in prison. So he has not been out long from that. So, and that's why I say it's really important for us that the public knows this guy is dangerous. He's shown a propensity for violence.
He's been on the run now for a few days. Officers last saw him during a traffic stop on Tuesday near the Longview Fred Meyer. He has a nationwide warrant out for his arrest. Anyone who sees him should immediately call 911. In an update, Oregon Governor Tina Kotek revealed her plan for transportation funding in the state. She's called lawmakers to a special session later this month to hammer out the plan. The governor's plan includes a 6-cent hike in the state's gas tax and a $30 surcharge for registration fees for EVs and any other vehicle that gets 40+ miles per gallon. One item in the governor's plan that attempts to address Republican concerns is holding off on rate increases for heavy vehicles until 2029. Republicans argued that truckers are already paying too much. Republican House Leader Christine Drazen says this proposal by the governor is still full of unnecessary new taxes and that GOP lawmakers may boycott the special session if there's no room for public debate.
If the Democrats think that they're going to have a session where they don't have public hearings, we will use all the tools at our disposal to insist that Oregonians are part of this process.
So the special session is set for the Friday of Labor Day weekend, and without a deal, ODOT is set to start laying off hundreds of transportation workers in mid-September.
Providence says it's laying off another 128 employees in Oregon as it looks to cut $100 million in costs. In June, Providence cut some 300 positions in Oregon and Western Washington, and now the CEO in Oregon says more layoffs will come later this year. For context here, Providence, Oregon reported an operating loss of $250 million in the first quarter of this year. In a statement, the CEO partially blamed cuts to safety net programs and President Donald Trump's Big Beautiful Bill. In a statement, the Oregon Nurses Association said in part, quote, "These cuts don't just affect workers, they directly threaten the quality and safety of care in our communities. Layoffs will worsen Providence's ongoing staffing issues, which leads to unsafe patient loads and burned out caregivers." In Happy Valley, the Clackamas County Sheriff's Office is cracking down on what it calls illegal towing operations. So deputies recently arrested 3 people accused of running unlicensed towing companies. They also impounded 2 tow trucks, and officials say that these predatory businesses violate state law, undercut legitimate companies, and put consumers at risk.
Since you've been gone, I can't breathe for the first time. I'm still moving on, yeah, yeah.
You.
They see you.
Now I get what I want. Who sings it?
Since you've been gone, Kelly Clarkson.
There you go. He's learned something in the past few hours. And if you need something to do this weekend, look no further than the Keller Auditorium. That's where the cast of And Juliet are performing. The show flips the script on the greatest love story ever told and asks, what if Juliet didn't end it all for that man, Romeo?
What if?
What if?
What if? So the songs in the show, all well-known hits. Would you like some more examples?
Yeah.
We'll give you more examples. Some of the iconic pop songs you're going to hear include Roar from Katy Perry, one of my favorites. Since You've Been Gone, we just talked about that from Kelly Clarkson. Baby One More Time, the Britney Spears hit. We also talked to Rachel Webb. She's the actress who plays Juliet in this production, about why she loves performing in this particular show.
I think that this musical tells such a beautiful story of self-love. It tells multiple stories, really, but Juliet specifically, her story is one of reclaiming her voice and choosing to operate in agency as opposed to letting everybody else tell her what to do and how to live. So I think that that was one of the biggest things that drew me to the role. But then again, it's also like a fun, silly, exciting, a lot of heart type of musical.
So the show plays out at the Keller through Sunday. You can find tickets at portland5.com.
And one thing I didn't know that I learned today is that Rod Hill attended a Katy Perry concert.
I did. Can't remember how many years back. It's been, I don't know, at least 5 or 6 years ago. She was at Moda Center, packed house.
Were you singing along and stuff?
It was, no. But it was a wonderful, wonderful performance. I mean, beautiful voice. I do remember I really enjoyed it myself. My daughter wanted to go and we went, and it was fantastic. Yeah. All right, Extreme Heat Watch is up. This is for Sunday and Monday, the 2 days we've been alerting you with our KGW Weather Impact Alert. Just wanted to show you the map. So the warned areas for Sunday, Monday extend up and down I-5 for all of our area. That's Calais County, Castle Rock, Kelso, Longview, down through Portland, Salem, Albany, and all the way down Eugene, and out in the gorge, including Hood River and the Hood River Valley. Valley high temps 95 to 100, coast highs 75 to as much as 90. It does appear that, especially on Sunday, if the wind flows east enough, there will be a whole lot of spots along the coast. Seaside can often be a really warm spot, jump easily into the 80s. So that's a warm day at the coast on Sunday if you're going. It will be perfectly clear all weekend, we believe, in our area, and that's where we pretty much are right now. Well, there's one little cloud. This is the clear sky over the Mount Hood, Oregon resort out in Welch's. If you're going to be up recreating in the Cascades, 70s today and tomorrow, but could be mid-80s up there on Sunday with full sun and pretty warm weather, especially if you're going to be doing some hiking up at elevation. All right, the rest of our weather maps, here they come. Shalem Tasting Room in Sherwood, early morning number of 55, beautiful clear sky morning. Here's a look at where the temperatures are. We're now warming up. We had some areas in the 40s earlier this morning. Tigard's at 56 degrees. McMinnville was down into the mid-40s, now at 53. Weather map for today, mostly 80 or better inland areas. Nobody's hot, just a nice, sunny, warming August afternoon. 82 today, 86 tomorrow. There's the KGW Impact Alert for the hot 96 on Sunday, the hot 97 on Monday. And now I'm back to thinking that we could potentially just make it to 90 on Tuesday. That's your update. Here's Chris.
That's some hot sauce. All right, let's get you up with the traffic alert. I've got 3 things to let you know about coming up. We'll do them in chronological order here. First off, 217 northbound. This is another closure between 99W and Shoals Ferry. That kicks in tonight from 9 p.m. this evening until as late as 5 o'clock Monday morning. ODOT doing some paving. There's one more weekend closure coming next weekend as well. Speaking of the weekend, it is the 29th annual Providence Bridge Pedal. Tens of thousands of cyclists take over 6 downtown Portland bridges. It's a lot of fun. It's a pretty awesome view. And it's really frustrating if you're a driver that was unprepared. So let you know about this. The biggest impact, southbound Fremont Bridge, that's the top deck. The northbound Markham Bridge, I-5, that's again closed through about 1 o'clock on Sunday, as is the westbound Ross Island Bridge. We've got a complete story on KGW.com about all that. And coming up on Monday, this is a big deal, the 42nd Avenue Bridge over Northeast Lombard closes on Monday for 2 years. PBOT's doing some seismic upgrades, some widening, adding some multi-use paths, I should say. The detour is more than 3 miles, so just know this, for the Monday morning commute and moving forward, you've got a lengthy detour on that side of town in Portland's Cully neighborhood. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Chris.
As it gets longer and longer and they're having to pay more and more for other things, they're going to spend less here.
Next on Sunrise, we're checking in with local businesses who say the recent tariffs by the Trump administration are hurting their bottom line.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On weather impact alert days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Welcome back to Sunrise. With President Trump's new tariffs in effect for the past 24 hours, we're hearing from some local business owners who say they were already struggling before this week. KGW's Evan Watson has more on what these new tariffs mean for them.
Don Seymour owns Fiber Rhythm, a yarn and craft store in Southeast Portland. A knitting machine like this one is a big ticket item.
In the second quarter, we sold as many as we sold all of last year.
Great news, until that bubble burst. Tariff-related price increases kicked in, and costs rose 37%, adding hundreds of dollars to a machine's price tag.
So we'll probably, for the rest of the year, have pretty close to zero sales on knitting machines.
It's a clear example of tariff impacts. Seymour says consumers changed their behavior, buying early. Now that overseas suppliers have raised their prices to account for tariffs, and shop owners like Seymour have followed suit, customers are largely cutting back.
So if you looked at like average order value and the number of people in your conversion as people are coming into the store, those numbers have all gone down.
In April, KGW talked with 3 Portland business owners about the Trump administration's proposed tariffs, tax increases on imported goods that Trump argues will reduce budget deficits and generate new wealth and domestic manufacturing. For many industries reliant on toys and other items made abroad, tariffs simply mean higher prices.
We absorb what we can, but as a small business, we have lower margins, lower room for error, and we just have to pass on some things.
John Weber is a seismic retrofitter who mostly uses domestic steel and wood. He said he would be less affected.
But I feel like we are in a pretty good position to ride this out.
Months later, Weber reports that's mostly true. Prices stayed generally steady, but business has been slow. He attributes that to apprehension over tariffs and interest rates. At Fiber Rhythm, the cost for yarn, imported from around the globe, has risen between 10 and 20%.
We can't afford to not pass it on. We have low enough margins.
With higher prices across the board, Seymour says she knows her store won't be considered essential.
I feel like it's just another tax on consumers, but without saying it's a tax on consumers.
Already some customers are asking about less expensive alternatives.
As it gets longer and longer and they're having to pay more and more for other things, they're going to spend less here. That's what I think.
What does that mean for someone like you?
That means I dig into my own savings to pay the rent by the end of the year. That's what that means.
Evan Watson, KGW News.
That's pretty.
Live look outside.
Do you like it?
Casino Resort Skycam. It's beautiful.
China, your thoughts?
I don't think it gets better. I think that's
Really?
it.
You are pleased.
I am pleased.
It's as good as it gets.
So if you're at the beach on Sunday, and Seaside, historically, when we get a bit of a north and especially east light wind flow, is one of the spots that can just really get high in the temperature department. It could be 85 degrees with not much of a noticeable wind and the clear skies in Seaside on Sunday. So if you like that type of summer, this is the beach weather that people get around other parts of the country.
Yes.
Yeah, that could be Sunday here at home. We do have the, I showed you this map a moment ago, the extreme heat watch issued from the Weather Service up and down the valley. Does not include the coast, where temperatures generally I think will be closer to 80, but does include out in the gorge into Hood River. And the models that had cooled the last couple of days, the models that came out last late afternoon and again overnight, are back to jacking the temperatures up a bit. So we're right back to where we kind of started. 95 to potential 100-degree temperatures in the valley, coast highs at least mid-70s. Most coastal areas on Sunday I think will be reaching 80, and there could be some spots like Tillamook, which of course sets inland in the bay just a little bit. And you can also, if there's an east wind, get down slipping off the coast range into the valley. Tillamook could hit 90 degrees on Sunday, depending on what the winds do. So for Portland specifically, with the KGW hot impact alert up, or impact alert for the hot weather, however you want to phrase it, 86 degrees on Saturday. Not alerted, but the warm-up begins. Here is the alert, Sunday 96. The record is 107. We're not looking at any records because the records are all sky high for these particular upcoming dates. That was back in 1981. And then Monday 97, the record's 102 back in 1977. And then everything indicates we'll be significantly cooler starting on Tuesday. Still not sure if we hit 90 on Tuesday or not, but we'll certainly drop a category. When I say category, as a forecaster, I'm typically referring to at least a drop of 5 degrees. Here's the Chinook Winds Casino Resort camera in Lincoln City. Beautiful blue skies, blue water, 53. There's looking over the top of Providence Park. Sunshine, 58 is the number. Winds are calm. Everybody is clear, and it will be this way now moving forward through your weekend. 59 Salem, good morning. Kelso, 55, good morning. The Dalles at 60 with light winds and sunshine this morning. Burns, at one point, were you up early this morning? It was 34 out. Now you're up to 49. There have been some cool temperatures on our Friday morning. Numbers for this afternoon, we'll get back up into the 80s. We've been in the 70s the last couple of days, as you know. 84 in Salem. So, yeah, warm afternoon, but very typical for August. 81 in Battleground, 82 in Vancouver. I have Portland at 82, and then 86 tomorrow. Nice morning tomorrow. And then the impact alert for the extreme heat. So again, you may want to plan your afternoon around the heat of Sunday, 96, and around the heat of Monday, 97. Tuesday, we either just make it to 90 or we stay shy of. And then 80 or maybe shy of on Wednesdays. The cool-off continues, introducing a shower chance and back into the 70s on Thursday. That's your update. Here's Chris.
Rod, thank you for that. Let's get you out the door with a live look at the Markham Bridge. I-5 northbound traffic, just letting you know we've got eyes everywhere with 200-plus ODOT cameras in the region. That's what we're watching right now. There's a little bit of slowing there. Also, a reminder, it is Bridge Pedal weekend, as in Sunday morning. A bunch of Portland area bridges will be impacted by that. We've got a full story on KGW.com, but just know that if you're up and about early before noon, there will be some substantial bridge impacts across the metro area. All right, here's a quick look at the sunset. Inbound Highway 26, riding the brake a little bit, coming down the hill from the zoo into the tunnel. Door number 3, oh, that was supposed to show us the Banfield. I-84 westbound, not bad. 16 minutes gets you in from Troutdale. And last but not least, the drive through North Portland. This is I-5 up near Rosa Parks. That south that I-5 drive is zipping right along. The trip from Clark County, an easy 12 minutes to get you from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. Guys?
Thank you, Chris. Still to come on Sunrise, a wild story out of Florida. A nurse was arrested for allegedly treating thousands of patients with a stolen license. How she managed to get hired in the first place. Plus, more national headlines coming in your morning rush.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Now to your morning rush. A rapidly growing brush fire prompted evacuation orders for thousands of people north of Los Angeles. The Canyon fire was estimated at about 50 acres early yesterday and quickly grew to nearly 5,000 acres. More than 4,000 residents dealing with mandatory evacuation orders. The cause of the fire is not clear. A Florida woman has been arrested for allegedly posing as a nurse and treating thousands of patients using another nurse's license. During the hiring process, she told the hospital that she passed the licensing exam and provided a license number that matched her first name, but not her last name. She claimed that she recently got married, which is why the last name was different. And it turns out the name and license belonged to another nurse who was employed at a different hospital. Instagram getting a lot of grief over this. It has a new feature that shows a user's current location. Instagram Maps shows where users are active and updates your location every time you use the app. Instagram's parent company Meta says that the feature is off unless you turn it on to opt in to sharing your location. And that's your morning rush.
I don't understand how shooting someone in the back while they run away could at all be considered in policy.
Some Portland city councilors are sharing their thoughts on the 2022 death of Clark Johnson, who was shot and killed by police after they mistook him for a robber. We have the latest on his settlement, and police are warning people not to disturb the wildlife on Cannon Beach after someone pointed a laser at Haystack Rock, potentially causing a pair of birds to lose their chicks.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Good morning, I'm China Green. The Clackamas County Sheriff's Office is cracking down on what it calls an illegal towing operation, specifically in Happy Valley. That's where deputies recently arrested 3 people accused of running unlicensed towing companies and impounded 2 tow trucks. The Sheriff's Office says that these type of predatory businesses are not only breaking the law, but they also undercut legitimate companies and put consumers at risk. Headed over to Rod Hill for a look at weather now.
Beautiful outside. We're now off and running with basically a clear sky forecast day and night all the way through your weekend. Today we stay comfortable. We start to warm up a bit over past days, yes, but we stay comfortable. Right now 59 degrees in Salem. Here's the blue sky over downtown Portland and the West Hills. 58 is the number. Here comes your day ahead. 69 at noon. Doesn't get much better than that. 82 this afternoon. It was only 74 yesterday, so you will notice it warming up in the sun this afternoon. And then we have the warm up continuing tomorrow at 86, pretty close to normal for this time of the year. And then we have the impact alert. The latest numbers for the heat on Sunday, 96, and for the heat on Monday, 97, possibly still 90 on Tuesday.
.30 half hour of the Sunrise Show on a Friday morning. Check this out.
The king, here comes the king, here comes the big number 1. Da, 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 da. Continue, please.
I was thinking a little Budweiser jingle because the Budweiser Clydesdales making an appearance this week at the Clark County Fair. Yep, the team is there. They're touring the country, as a matter of fact, to support Folds of Honor. That's a nonprofit that provides scholarships to families of fallen or disabled service members and first responders. So they're on a mission around the country, and this weekend that mission lands in Clark County. You can check out the horses at the fair through Sunday. Tickets are available at clarkcountyfair.com. I believe it's clarkcofair.com to be specific. There you go.
Yeah, we're going to be there Saturday night. If you see me go, hey, Rod, I'll turn around. Or if you don't want me to turn around, just keep walking. But if you are there, I highly recommend you find out where the horses are and go see them. They are, in person, absolutely magnificent animals.
You've seen them before?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I grew up in Missouri, and they have a stables in the St. Louis area called Grant's Farm. Just their stables alone. I was kidding Chris. These animals are better groomed than Chris has ever been. Or myself, for that matter. I mean, they are really nice.
Very personal there.
And they're good actors. You ever see them in those Super Bowl commercials?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Clydesdales are terrific actors.
They kick field goals, I remember, too. Pretty impressive. All right, let's get you to our Snickwiz Casino Resort camera in Lincoln City. Beautiful blue skies. Sunny all weekend at the beach. Tomorrow, just a nice day. Temperatures around 70 in the afternoon. I think there will be definitely some 80s at the beach with clear skies on Sunday, by the way. 54 in Lincoln City right now. Downtown Portland, we're sitting at 58. We're now starting to warm up, of course, in the 8:30 half hour. 69 at noon. Today's temperature 82. It was only 74 yesterday. I mean, still considered really pleasant for this time of the year, but you'll notice we're starting to warm up. Nobody's hot on the map. This shows 80 in Sun River at 5 o'clock. Only 82 in Pendleton. A little warmer in Madras, 86 in the Dalles, 80 degrees up in Kelso. And here is our 7-day forecast. So 86 tomorrow, and then we have the KGW weather impact alert. The Weather Service has an extreme heat watch for all of the valley and in the gorge out the Hood River on Sunday and Monday. Portland 96 Sunday, 97 Monday. We either stay in the 80s on Tuesday or just get up to 80. So really it's these two afternoons, Sunday and Monday, that you need to plan your day accordingly. Here is Chris.
All right, Rod, thanks for that. Let's get you out the door and let's zoom in south of town. I-5 northbound traffic. It's busy, but we're moving along okay. This is out near the McAdam exit ramp over on the left-hand side of your screen. Is that left? Yeah, left. I'm confused. I'm looking this way. The northbound commute still zipping along okay there. And the drive out of Clark County is in pretty good shape as well. First of all, 18 minutes as your inbound Sunset. The drive out of Clark County is non-existent at this point. I-5 southbound, the end of the line, has made its way down into North Portland. That's a live look right now near Rosa Parks. Right, at last check, the trip from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge holding steady around 11 minutes. China.
Thank you, Chris. Your time now is 8:33. Portland police are asking for your help finding this woman. They say 45-year-old Heather Labar has been out of contact with her family since July 13th, and they're concerned for her well-being. She's 5'3", 200 pounds. If you see her, call 911.
Portland City Council unanimously agreed to pay the family of Manny Clark close to $4 million after a police officer shot and killed him during a traffic stop.
The family filed the lawsuit last year after a grand jury decided not to indict the officer, saying the use of force wasn't criminal. Amma McCarty brings us more.
I don't understand how shooting someone in the back while they run away could at all be considered in policy.
Strong words from Portland City councilors.
I'm disgusted by how this has happened, and it continues to happen, that no officers were found in needing discipline or training, that this officer was patted on the back and given an attaboy and sent back out to do his duty.
All 12 voted in favor of settling the wrongful death lawsuit with the family of Manny Clark.
After extensive mediation, the parties agreed to resolve the claims in the lawsuit for $3.75 million.
On November 19th, 2022, an officer still employed by the Bureau shot Clark with an AR-15 rifle as he was running away. The 30-year-old died at the hospital days later. The lawsuit, filed in March 2024, claimed Portland police wrongly and unreasonably believed Clark to be the suspect in an armed robbery, and that after being shot, he was left bleeding on the ground.
It is absolutely chilling to me that it was 26 minutes after he was shot before assistance got to him.
If there were some unknowns and then there were some knowns. The knowns were that the people they should have been looking for were white men, and Manny was not.
Ahead of the vote, officials and attorneys fielded questions from counsel. And Chief Bob Day explained his decision not to discipline the officer for his actions.
The law says that the officers don't have to be right in the end, but they do have to act in a way that makes sense given what they reasonably believed at the time. There's no dispute that Mr. Clark's death is a tragedy, and frankly, it should anger us. It does me.
Again, that was Alma McCarty reporting for us this morning. Now, according to the lawsuit, both Clark and another passenger in the car that night ran away during the traffic stop. The officer who shot him testified that he saw Clark reach into his pocket, and he says he was afraid that he might pull out a gun. Turns out, though, that Clark was not armed, and neither he nor any of his passengers were involved in the robbery.
2 women are now facing first-degree theft charges after they allegedly stole from multiple shops along the I-5 corridor. Authorities say that this surveillance video right here shows the 2 stealing a $3,400 coin from a coin shop in southeast Portland in early June. Investigators say they apparently did the same thing at other shops. So if you spot them, you're asked to call 911.
Over on the Oregon coast, someone in Cannon Beach pointed a laser at Haystack Rock. We have video of the incident we can show you right here. We can also tell you why this laser situation is a real problem. So Haystack Rock is home to at least 7 species of birds who use it as a nesting ground, including a species called the black oyster catcher. The Haystack Rock Awareness Program says 2 of those birds just lost their chicks. So they say that the laser, along with people climbing on the rock, may be to blame for that.
We would come down, we would identify those people because they are disturbing wildlife on the rock. We would document that, and that report would get forwarded to Fish and Wildlife. And even though they might be up by the driftwood here, if they're disturbing wildlife with a laser pointer, that's a federal wildlife violation.
Oregon Fish and Wildlife says it can issue a fine of up to $250 per incident for anyone who's caught disturbing wildlife on the rock. All right, an Arizona dog that was missing for 4 months is back with this family after being found in Clark County.
Meet Dinky. Dinky. He was taken after his owner, Steve, passed away in April in Arizona. Since then, family members have been searching for him, spreading the dog's picture and their story across social media. But it wasn't until Monday that Steve's sister, Rhonda, learned that Dinky had turned up during an arrest at Ridgefield. He was taken to an animal rescue group in Battleground, which helped track down his family.
He was literally probably, a block away, and I was already started crying. It was just, for us, it's like having a piece of my brother back.
In the end, it's always the right thing to do. I mean, that is the core of who we are. We want to keep families together, and this was no different.
Rhonda says that she's now fulfilled a promise to her late brother to protect Dinky the best she could.
All right, one more dog story before we get back to Ron.
Oh, look at the good boy.
All the golden retrievers. So here's the deal. Movie makers are looking for a new Airbud. You familiar with the Airbud movie series, China?
Yes.
So I can't believe this. There's actually been 14 of them in the past. The 15th installment of the Airbud franchise is set to come out next year, and they need a golden retriever to play that title role. So if you think your dog can play the part of Airbud, you can sign them up at airbud.com/thesearch. Who do we know, China, that has a golden retriever?
Fortunately, not me.
Not you, but
Rod Hill.
There he is. Where's Rod? Is Rod missing from?
Yeah, Rod's busy right now.
This is the one difference in the whole 4 hours of the show. And it always gets us every time, right?
Hey, Chris, can you go get a golden retriever real quickly so we can make this
I would
smooth transition?
love to have a golden retriever. We have a beautiful little rescue dog ourselves, and maybe he would qualify, but he'd be like the scrappy dog. All right, I've got a series of traffic alerts to pass along to you, so let's get to them. Number 1, 217 northbound closes tonight all weekend from 9 p.m. until 5 a.m. Monday. ODOT doing some paving between 99W and Shoals Ferry, so be ready for that. Also, this is the 29th annual Providence Bridge Pedal. Tens of thousands of cyclists hitting many of Portland's iconic bridges. They're treated to great views of downtown, but if you were not expecting that, you could be stuck trying to get across the river. So here's what you need to know. First of all, there are 6 partial bridge closures. Most significantly, the southbound Fremont Bridge, that's the top deck. The northbound Markham Bridge, that is the top deck of, that's I-5 northbound, and westbound 26, the Ross Island Bridge, are closed. ODOT says all these bridges will reopen by no later than 1 p.m. on Sunday. And then as we get into Monday, the Northeast 42nd Avenue Bridge closes over Lombard. This is a 2-year closure as PBOT does seismic upgrades, widening, and adds multi-use paths to that area. The detour is a lengthy one. Actually, photojournalist Eric Patterson just drove this morning to confirm it's 3.2 miles. Be prepared for that Monday. That will add some time to your morning commute. Guys, so far, the Friday morning commute has been pretty kind to us thus far.
Thank you, Chris. This next story might quack you up because we're talking about something called Jeep ducking. We'll take a closer look at why Jeep owners are leaving little ducks on each other's cars.
Hey, I'm Blair Best, and we hope you've been joining us for the story each weeknight at 6:30. If you've got a story idea of your own, email us at thestory@kgw.com or call and leave us a voicemail, 503-226-5090. We'd love to hear from you. Have a great morning, and I'll see you tonight.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
If you've seen a Jeep out and about, you may have noticed the little miniature duck thingies on their dashboard or maybe their side mirror.
So apparently this is a thing called ducking. Ducking. Reporter John Shumway has more about it.
From a few to a lot, Jeep dashboards are a colorful flock.
This is our Minecraft Steve duck.
My favorite one, because I'm retired law enforcement, is the one, the SWAT duck.
He's so cool. I got him in Barcelona.
This is a duck with a hat on a flotation device.
There's Harry Potter and Donald Trump and one reading a book.
These Jeep owners tell me if you get a Wrangler, ready or not, the ducks will come.
I started seeing ducks getting put on my mirrors.
You'll take a duck and you'll set it on someone's mirror, just like this. This one's a little wobbly. I think it's just a random act of kindness thing.
I think they're just awesome.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give one to you too, Sean. I got one right here. Hold on.
Some Jeep owners have even attached a duck landing pad to the rearview mirrors.
The best day is when you come out and there is a duck there. It's awesome.
And boy, can they accumulate fast.
Some people have them up to here, can barely see out the windshield.
I think I can fit about 25 at one time.
Probably about 40 in case of emergency.
Oh my goodness, you've got all sorts of, where'd they come from? Where'd you buy
Probably
them?
China.
Like a good laugh or a smile, ducking is just infectious.
Mini ducks.
Yeah.
So some people like mini ducks. There's such a community around Jeep culture, even with driving down the road, they have the Jeep wave and everything. It's kind of magical in a way.
All right, so from that story about ducks, we've got this story about ducks. Wow. More rubber ducks. Man, look at all those rubber ducks. Yesterday kicked off the annual Duck Derby on the Chicago River. It's a tradition where they dump tens of thousands of those rubber ducks into the river every year. You can also adopt one of those ducks as a donation to Special Olympics Illinois. Oh, yeah. My goodness. So last hour, when we were talking about that Jeep duck story, Rod had the idea of maybe driving someone's Jeep Wrangler into the river. And now
so the ducks would float, yeah.
Now you've got the ducks that are already in the river there. You don't even need it. Yeah, exactly.
Your quack was pretty good, actually. Do it.
Quack.
Yeah.
Quack, quack. Oh, don't you have one?
Well, I have that.
We don't know what that is. It's like a duck call. So watch this. Put it all together. You call for it, and then you respond.
Okay. Whack, whack.
Wow. This is the best you and I have ever worked together. Let's get you going with our National Weather Service Extreme Heat Watch. Again, we've been tracking this all week. We're talking about hot afternoons Sunday, Monday, and at least potentially within a degree or so of having the hottest weather we have seen so far this summer season. The high temp so far for Portland this summer has been 97. We've only, I say only, hit 90 11 times, because if you look at the past years going all the way back to about 2000, this has been one of the less hot summers to date that we've seen. Of course, we still have to get through August, and we still have to get through September as well. But here's the map. All of I-5 from Cowlitz County, Kessel, Longview, all the way down through Eugene, in the gorge out into Hood River. For the Valley, Sunday, Monday, Valley highs 95 to maybe 100 in spots. The coast temperatures, the cool spots mid-70s. I think a lot of the beaches, especially Sunday, will be up into the 80s. And maybe we have some spots, mostly just inland like Tillamook, that could get up to 90 degrees. So the numbers for Portland. Tomorrow we start to warm up. 82 today, 86 tomorrow. We have the heat alert for the 90s on Sunday, 96. The record's 107. Not going to touch that. Monday, 97. The record's 102. I mean, I would say it's mathematically possible, but we don't expect to get up certainly above 100. 97 on Monday. That record's back in 1977. So plan your weekend accordingly. Best to get some things done, laborious things like yard work done today or done tomorrow, or certainly get out early Sunday morning and take care of business if you have to. Satellite picture, we're all clear. There's an area of high pressure right here that is strong, and it's going to be pushing northward, keeping the cloud flow up to our north and give us clear skies all weekend, as I mentioned. Again, that's the situation out there right now. Here's Chinook Winds Casino Resort in Lincoln City. Beautiful blue waters. 54 is the number. Providence Park live camera, we're at 59 now in Portland. Other temperatures, the Dow's up to 60. Burns, you were 34 at 6 this morning, and you're already at 49. That's a rocket warm-up for you folks. Here's the Valley forecast. Back up into the low to mid 80s. This shows Salem at 84. We got Southwest Washington anywhere from 80 to about 82. This shows 82 actually, Longview, Battleground, and Vancouver. And then I've got Portland at 82 as well. It was 74 yesterday. So you're going to notice it being warmer. 86 tomorrow. The warm-up continues. Here's the KGW impact alert for a hot 96 Sunday, a hot 97 Monday. Be smart, hydrate, hat, sunscreen, take a break if you feel like it's starting to wear on you. 90 Tuesday, still a possibility. Could be back into the 70s on Thursday. It is birthday time. We got a party today. It starts with a 1-year-old. I love being one. I think I did. I don't remember, actually. Here's Savannah, who is 1 year old today. Happy birthday to you. Really special. We've got Aaliyah, who is 8 today, out there in the Cascades looking at Mount Hood. She's as tall as Mount Hood. Oh, look at that. Happy birthday to you. All right, also celebrating today is Gerald, who is 62 years young. Happy birthday to you. And we've got one more. Here comes Denise, celebrating being 72 today. Happy birthday to you. All right, that's our list. Birthdays at KGW.com, and we'll celebrate with you. Here's Chris.
Rod, thanks for that. We pick it up with a traffic alert on the west side. A reminder, this is another day of chip sealing on Cordelius Pass Road, Oregon Highway 127. You may recall they did that jurisdictional change a couple years ago, and now ODOT maintains this road, and they are putting down some new sealant, and that means delays. So they'll use a pilot car to alternate one lane through the work zone throughout the day today from 8 until as late as 4 o'clock. If you don't want to get stuck in that, try the long way around. That would be Highway 30, 405 to Highway 26. Here's Highway 26, by the way, out in the Bethany area. Traffic's still zipping along okay out there. We'll switch gears and show you North Portland, I-5 up near Going. It's a little slow, but again, drive times have been really, really good this morning. Inbound on I-84 right now, it's less than 20 minutes to get you in from Troutdale. We'll be right back.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Here's a quick recap of some of this morning's top local stories. Longview police still looking for this man, 51-year-old Alexander Rogers, who's accused of stabbing 2 people earlier this week, killing one of them. Police also say he recently got out of prison where he was doing time for attacking people with a machete. Authorities say he's likely driving a black spray-painted BMW with Washington plates starting with B and U. He's considered armed and dangerous. Providence, meanwhile, says it's laying off another 128 employees in Oregon as it looks to cut $100 million in costs. It was just 2 months ago that Providence cut about 300 positions in Oregon and Western Washington. And Portland police say they're asking for help to find this woman, 45-year-old Heather Labar. She's been out of contact with her family since July 13th. They say they're very concerned about her well-being. She's 5'3", about 200 pounds. If you see her, call 911.
And our big story weather-wise is still the track of the heat with the KGW weather impact alert for Sunday, a high of 96. For Monday, a high of 97. Back it up to this afternoon. Really nice out there. We're looking clear skies and a high of 82.
All right, a reminder this weekend, another closure of 217. This one kicks in tonight, northbound from 99W to Shoals Ferry as the auxiliary lanes project continues. It's actually been going on for 4 years. They're almost done. Oh, wow. That's good news, yeah. And this is the 29th Providence Bridge Pedal. A lot of fun for the cyclists that take over the bridges of downtown Portland. It does impact 6 downtown Portland bridges. If you don't want to get stuck in that, know this. Those are some of the biggest impacts. We've got a whole story on this on KGW.com. ODOT says that all bridges will reopen by no later than 1 p.m. on Sunday.
Okay.
All right, here's a few of our favorite moments from the week.
And China, you pointed out earlier, the head does bobble.
It does bobble.
Yes, there you go.
Isn't that something?
Yeah. Would you like Rod Hill to give us a forecast? You should wear them every day on the show.
What we're doing here is I'm begging to sign a Stan Smith commercial contract for Adidas shoes. I think I'd be the perfect person if you're listening out there.
I think we go to weather.
And then our producer said Wagyu. Do you guys ever do the Wagyu?
I have. Yeah, it's good.
I have
tasty.
not.
I had a roast of that once, but it was too fatty.
I think we need to go to weather.
Yeah, are we doing? Oh yeah. You know, I enjoy talking about.
Is it 5 o'clock yet? Are we doing the show yet?
Now let's talk about the backpack because it's a perfect way to carry school supplies.
Hey, China.
You doing your science homework?
Hey, you want to go to chemistry together? What's your mom pack you for lunch today? You want to trade?
Where's Drew?
Hey,
there
guys. Did you finish your physics homework?
No.
I could not figure out number 9. Can I just have the answer, please?
You're not copying mine.
Please?
No.
Improperly worn backpacks can lead to discomfort, perhaps even soreness for some students. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has tips on how to prevent the school backpack pain. Jeez Louise. When you were riding the T-Rex to class,
yes,
was it a bumpy ride?
No, see, you know, they got those big feet. And
I'm not going to be a
it's
part
really
of
a
these
smooth
viewer
ride.
emails. I'm not going to be a
good
part of them.
Grief, ladies and gentlemen.
By the way, if you're wondering, that bobblehead by Diego Chara bobblehead, they're giving away the small version of that bobblehead on the 16th. So what's today, the 8th? So that means not this Saturday, not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow. They're giving away that bobblehead at the Timbers match.
Oh, great.
Longest tenured remaining Timber.
Is that right?
Yeah,
that
right.
I didn't know. I mean, he's been there a long time.
I think he was with the team since 2011.
There you go. Chris has got the information. We turn to Chris for the info. Now we turn back to say goodbye. Sunrise Show, Friday morning style in the books. We hope to see you back here on Monday morning for another edition of the show. Until then, oh, look at that, Providence Park, speaking of the Timbers. Until Monday, have a great weekend.